What are you talking about, Chip?
My the the one that came up from above my microphone.
Oh, no.
Yeah, shut up. I know what I fucking said. I heard what I said.
Okay, I just want to make sure you knew what you were talking about.
I said what I said.
All right. And for those who are just tuning in, you're listening
Oh,
to
we're
the Salty
live?
Chip Show.
Christ.
Damn right, we live. You're listening to the Salty Chip Show, saltychips.simplecast.fm. Damien G, Chip Kayfabe.
You didn't even count me down, dude.
On Twitter. You're welcome. Find the show on Twitter at Salty Chip Show, myself at Damien G347, and Chip at Chip Kayfabe.
No,
Brother, welcome back.
Dude, you didn't even count me down. I wasn't ready.
I wanted to see a reaction.
Well, I could have said anything else. Like I could have been like semi-professional. And yet, no. Oh, I missed my scissor or microphone holder, and then you fucking go live. What the hell, dude?
That is exactly why you should always be on your toes when you work with me, Chip.
We've been talking for 45 minutes. I didn't know.
For those that don't know, we had a lot of pre-show conversations before the show, and I just hit the record button randomly, and then Chip was in the process of talking about his scissor arm.
No. You gotta chill, man.
I love you, bro. You know that. So what have you been up to, Chip?
I found my very first podcast microphone.
Dude, that's the same one that I have in one of my ubiquitous boxes.
The Cat U317 throwback to checking the boots. I've been doing the same thing. Work, and more work.
Work, and more work.
Yep. You know that meme? You know that meme that's floating around Facebook? It's a SpongeBob one. They're like, "What are you doing this summer?" And then it's just SpongeBob's list saying work with all the check marks next to it. That's
essentially what you're doing right now.
Not essentially, it is.
Oh, it is what you're doing.
Yep.
Have you had any time to enjoy any sports or wrestling or anything?
I did watch. I went to Progress in Boston last Sunday. Very spur of the moment. All right, so the doors opened at 7 p.m. I bought a ticket at 6:43 online, and then I got to the show at 7:48. So it was a great show. I'm glad I went. They always do a good job. Obviously, I've been praising Progress for better part of 2.5 years. I feel that of the community that we had or have, whatever, I'm not really on Twitter, so I can't say have. We had on Twitter, I think I was the first to kind of bring it out, and now everybody's getting into it, and I love it.
So let's start here. What, in terms of Progress, how did it differ from the New York one we all went to last year?
Well, so can we start with the obvious? There was a little bit of an AC. Now, it was still hot in there. The AC wasn't totally working. So for people that don't know, the Melrose Memorial Hall or Theater is exactly how you'd expect it. It's literally like, I feel like I was at a wedding in the 50s. It was one of those type places. There was a stage, there was the brick wall behind the stage, and then it was a hardwood floor with just a small balcony. I mean, there wasn't a second level balcony. It was just riser seats. Mm-hmm. Also, I think people that got GA were spoiled because they paid less for significantly better seats than reserved floor seating. Because if you don't sit in the front row, you can't see. But if you sit in those riser seats, you got a good seat. So I think GA got a steal of a lifetime at Progress. But the show overall is very good. First match was kind of a letdown. Well, it wasn't a letdown. Kid Lycos got hurt again. He broke his collarbone, and everybody knew it right away. Mm-hmm. TK Cooper hit him with kind of like a Michinoku driver-ish type thing. Fell right on his shoulder. Lycos didn't even sell after the pin. He just got out and walked to the back. And then we all saw the paramedics coming in, so we knew something was up.
Okay.
But yeah, John Gresham was Chris Brooks' surprise partner, which was at the time a letdown, but when the match happened, it was fucking awesome. So
why was it a letdown?
I don't know what I expected. I just didn't expect John Gresham, if that makes sense.
Here's the thing about John Gresham. I've seen him live once and in person, and I didn't know how short he was.
Oh, he's tiny.
Yes. And then when we were watching not Progress, what's the Beyond show recently?
Beyond, yep.
And he wrestled Trent.
Okay.
Seeing Trent Beretta standing above essentially John Gresham made me realize.
But you're going to say Trent. Trent's not huge. I mean, Trent's a big person. I mean,
he's tall. He's like 6'3".
6'5", possibly.
Right. And John Gresham is 5'5", just about.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, good for John Gresham. Good for him being 5'5", but still being one of the best pure wrestlers going on the indie scene right now.
So I'll agree with you on that. I was a frequent at Beyond years ago before my life took over. So one main event of American Rana was Zack Sabre Jr. versus John Gresham.
Oh my God.
See, I know how you feel about that match. That's probably a match you'd want to see.
Of course.
To me, I left.
It was boring for you?
The first fall was great. I was in. Second and third, I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta work in the morning. I'm tired. This isn't keeping me alive. Like those matches just don't have what's the way to put it? Those matches just don't have that big moment that you're looking for. You know what I mean?
It's just a technical marvel and that's it.
Yeah, like in every match you look for the climax. What's the climax in one of those type matches? The finish. But there's nothing that gets you invested before the finish in those type of matches.
No, did you just chew a piece of gum?
Yep.
Nice. I thought it was a tortilla chip for some reason. Those kinds of matches, you're right. I think for me, that is probably my wet dream of professional wrestling, is watching like something like Mr. Perfect wrestle Bret Hart for like 45 minutes, and have like 17 near falls that are legitimately near falls. So I get that. And we've talked about this where there's something for everybody, and a John Gresham Zack Sabre Jr. match may be boring for some.
Right.
When I was, what was the last show? Was it American Rana, the last one that they just had?
No, that was just one of the American Rana. Actually, no, American Rana was their last one. It's August now. So
the one that was recently on
American Rana is always at the end of July.
Got it. So I was watching that show, and how do I say this? That card was a little underwhelming with the exception of the first match, which was the intergender multi-person match, and the last match. There was no in between.
What was the last match?
Star versus Janela in the barbed wire death match thing. Janela's last death match.
Huh?
Janela apparently is no longer doing death matches.
He shouldn't.
He's good enough where he doesn't have to. So that was his last death match.
But also, I think Joey Janela, and I'm not afraid to say, I think he's already hit his ceiling. Don't think there's much left for him.
What do you mean?
What is Joey Janela known for?
Crazy stuff.
If he's not going to do any of that, I think it's over. I think he is better served, and what he's probably going to do is have his own promotion. He's probably going to take over GCW and be the booker there. I mean, spring break at Mania weekend has been the biggest thing.
Right. That's the
go-to. That's probably going to be what he does going forward.
Yeah, I've noticed that spring break from everybody I've talked to. That's the thing. That's the show to be at. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because who else would book fucking Dan Severn versus Matt Riddle? Seriously.
You're right. Like, who's crazy enough to do that? Like, yeah.
Right. Dan Severn.
I mean, look at PCO. If it wasn't for this past Mania's PCO match, now
PCO's not getting booked anywhere.
Right. And now he's booked everywhere.
Yep.
By the way, when I saw that Beyond show, PCO wrestled Brian Cage. PCO's insane, like legitimately nuts, because he's doing like springboard moonsault type stuff, and dude, it looked awkward as hell to see him do like a top rope springboard moonsault onto Cage, and I'm thinking, what the hell is wrong with you, man?
Right.
What's wrong with you? Like, is your new gimmick crazy pirate mankind thing? I don't
crazy
get it.
Pirate mankind.
Yeah, like he does like these weird mankind mannerisms, but he still kind of got the pirate thing. He's nuts. I think essentially he's just insane.
Have you ever seen insane. You're calling somebody a pirate? Have you ever seen Ilya Markopoulos from Chaotic Wrestling?
Gesundheit. No, I have not.
Gesundheit. Oh yeah, that's accurate. So like 2016 probably. Ilya Markopoulos had this thing. He was the king of Chaotic or something. He was King Markopoulos. He was wearing the crown. He had the scepter, whatever the fuck it's called. But he was doing eyeliner. So Jason Molotov used to always yell, "You look like a raccoon pirate." That's all I can think of. So when you mention pirates in wrestling, I think of Ilya Markopoulos.
Well, I think maybe it was the whole Jack Sparrow thing where pirates started wearing guy liner. That's when it became appropriate.
You know what the weirdest thing about guy liner is? To keep changing subjects, that's what we do best. Jimmy Havoc, he wears guy liner outside of wrestling. He doesn't even wear it when he wrestles.
Nope.
That's what's confusing me. It's like, aren't you supposed to be goth in wrestling? I understand you're actually goth, but aren't you supposed to be goth in wrestling? So why aren't you wearing the eyeliner when you wrestle?
Sometimes he wears it when he wrestles.
More times.
The whole Glampire thing. I mean, from what I've seen him in a few promotions, he's wrestled with the guy liner.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice it at Progress this past weekend.
By the way, was LAX at your Progress show?
Oh my God, yes. And their match was unfucking believable. They are so good. I love them. I've known, been watching them since they were EYFBO and beyond to see where they've come. That's also another thing I want to touch on that we forgot to talk about before you went on the air.
Good.
Finally willing to give Impact a chance.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't have time to watch it, but if I'm ever home and I have an hour to spare, I will give it a shot.
Personally, I saw the last Impact pay-per-view. We were watching it. And,
Slammiversary.
Yeah, and I didn't know what to expect. Decent show. Thought it was a decent show. Was not happy with the Tessa Alley match at all.
In terms of in-ring or
pacing.
The result?
It just seemed disjointed. It seemed the timing was off. And I know Mimi hates when I do this, but it's like watching a play. If one actor's lines are being stepped on, you can tell. If there's no chemistry between two performers, you can tell.
Who do you fault it on?
I don't know. I don't want to blame Tessa because people would come after me on Twitter, and you can if you want to at DamienG347. I blame Tessa.
You can't come after me. I'm not on Twitter.
I blame Tessa for that. It might have been nerves. I don't know.
Not seeing the match, I can't say, but just put this in your head and see if your opinion changes. Allie doesn't wrestle much anymore. Let's not forget that. She used to wrestle. She was.
Oh, I know that.
She was all over the indie scene.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't wrestle much anymore because she only works Impact. So maybe it's her a little bit. Not necessarily rust, but just not working constantly anymore.
No, I get that, and I will put that as a note.
Keep that in the back of your mind. Sleep on it.
I will.
But you know what? You should also, speaking of sleeping, most people when they do podcasts, they sit down at a desk or something. You're standing in your kitchen.
I am standing right. Well, I'm between my kitchen and my living room right now. For those that don't know, on the Salty Chip Show, I moved recently. I was in New York for the last ever of my life, and about maybe 3 weeks ago,
you leave New York, everybody ends up going back to New York.
I don't see myself going back.
Like if I ever moved out of Boston, I know I would end up back in Boston at one point in my life.
You know why I don't think I can fully wind up in New York? Money.
Well, that's the problem with Boston. Like we were talking, and we're not going to get into it on here because finances are something I do. But I asked you about rent out there. I could afford that out there. Where I'm living now, I can't afford rent. So if I had the same job, same pay, I could afford to live out there on my own.
Yeah, and I told you how much I'm paying, and you were just like, "What?" Yeah.
I'm paying double.
Which is essentially what I would be paying in New York. I'd be paying double.
If not more, because you lived in the city.
Yeah, I lived right outside, like 20 minutes outside the city. So for a box.
Yep.
For a box. So
now, are you going to go back to New York for any shows?
Well, Battle Club might be doing something in November. And
I'm talking a bigger show.
You mean Mania?
Not that big.
What, ROH?
Yeah.
No.
They sold it out.
I'm not going back. It's what SummerSlam weekend? No, dude. I'm not going back.
No. You had the right weekend the last time. You said Mania. You had the right weekend.
Okay. So it's a Mania weekend show at the Garden.
Yes.
Oh. Well, I don't have tickets.
Obviously. I tried to segue. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's fine, dude.
I'll get there one day.
You'll get there with practice. To be honest with you, I do foresee myself going back next year for Mania. I don't know if it's going to be for ROH, though.
Oh, it wouldn't be for ROH even if I go.
What's wrong?
Work text. Sorry.
Got it. So all in all, prime example. if I go back to New York, and we'll segue back to wrestling, folks.
That's what we keep on doing. We keep on segueing. That's our show.
That's what we do. We transition a lot.
The
Sorry,
Salty
guys.
Chip Segue Show.
The salty segue.
The Salty Segue.
Oh, well, no. Actually, somebody threw out the term. Maybe we should go by sexy chips. Because we're probably the sexiest podcast out there. I did not say this. This is not me.
I need to know who said this.
I'll tell you off air.
I need to talk to this human.
I will tell you off air. It has to do mostly with our facial hair, but yeah, we are the sexiest podcast out there.
Has this person seen my my former facial hair?
You mean the ones you showed when the before and afters from like 6 months ago?
3 weeks ago.
Well, yeah. Then
Hang on. Hold on.
you know I'm the only one seeing this, Chip. You know this, right?
I know, but just
Yeah,
admire that beard. Admire that beard.
I'm admiring the Duck Dynasty of all the beard, man. You
That's-
look like a member of Duck
that's sexy.
Dynasty. Nice.
I'm proud of it.
You should be. But all in all,
Took a long
folks,
time.
all in all, I'm literally standing because I'm not sitting in my living room while I record the show, just because. But other than that, wrestling wise,
I just completely ignored that.
of course you did. But wrestling wise, just slowly getting back into certain things. You know, I'm going to be in Chicago for All In, obviously. I just saw the last episode of 205 Live.
Okay.
I'm trying to
See,
keep
I've heard
up with that.
Now, full disclosure, I've watched one episode of 205 Live in my life. I've heard it's killing it lately. Is that true?
It is killing it, yes. And Mustafa Ali versus Buddy Murphy, their no DQ match from late July. They told a very simple story, and it was great to see.
See,
And-
I heard they weren't even telling stories anymore. It was just, let's have a match.
Well,
Okay.
no, that's the thing. They're incorporating stories, but letting them wrestle.
Okay.
You know, now there's like a long-term storyline in place, apparently, where Mustafa, I guess they're either doing the concussion angle or he's pushing himself too hard. You know, he's going to keep losing because like his body's pushed to the limit.
Remember when 205 Live storylines were Drew Gulak and Mustafa Ali? Hey, you can't jump, you can't fly.
This is a no-fly zone, yeah, because
now
that
it's like-
didn't have.
Now it's like Drew Gulak is a wrestler and he just wants to wrestle. It's like
Yeah, but
that's-
he still is a little bit of a politician, though. Smidge.
Oh, you went back to that?
No, I mean, I think they've incorporated the bits and pieces of the politician angle with just him being a tough wrestler from Philadelphia.
I love his theme if he still has it. It seemed like a supervillain theme.
I haven't heard it.
Okay. I'll
Or
point
paid
out.
attention, I should say.
Yeah.
Here's the thing now that we're talking about Drew Gulak, because you know he's from Chikara.
Yep.
I don't like Chikara.
Me either. I think Mike Quackenbush is very smart, but I just don't like the Ice Cream Man. Why do we have a wrestler called the Ice Cream Man?
Why not? First off.
Well, you get the point. though.
Yeah.
I-
I mean,
I'm
they
not-
have a guy
I'm- called
called Fire Ant. You know, they have like a whole bunch of
Right,
like
the ant
ants.
colony. The ant
Mhm.
colony.
Mhm.
It's people complain about weird characters in WWE. We have one in for every one weird wrestler, we have 20 good ones. In Chikara, it's just a bunch of characters. It's all gimmicks.
Mhm.
Everything is a gimmick in Chikara, which is great. Mike Quackenbush is good with gimmicks. He'd be very valuable in WWE coming up with gimmicks. But we complain about gimmicks in WWE. This Chikara is gimmicks. That's it. And nobody complains about it.
Yeah.
If
And
that makes sense.
no, it's fine. Well, I complained about it, and Mel complained about it too, because
It's weird. It's stupid. It's not fun.
no,
if you gave me a
dude.
free ticket, I'd sell it for. I'd sell it to make a profit for even insulting me to go to that show.
And here's the thing: I was willing to give it a chance because, you know, one of my favorite women's wrestlers is Solo Darling. Like she runs out of Chikara a lot
She had a decent match at Progress last weekend, by the way.
with Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace was off,
Okay.
and not to her own fault. I don't know if you remember that day she found out her grandfather passed away.
Yes.
So
Mhm.
I'm assuming that had
Something to do with it.
99.7% to do with it.
And I did hear on social media that people were complaining about the match, and as always, making toxic male references about the women that were not in their wrestling. You know, it wasn't about wrestling. You know what? I'm gonna
In
sick and tired
Boston?
of that. Yeah,
Being there live, I can't confirm that. I didn't hear any of that. I thought
Okay.
being there, I'm pretty sure the crowd was respectable. Um, yeah, no, I can't say I heard or saw
Okay.
any of that. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen,
Right.
but I'm gonna say I'll go out on a limb and say I don't think it did.
I personally like both those competitors.
Yep.
And I heard that before you even mentioned that something was off, I did hear from people that the match seemed off. And now
Yeah.
knowing about what you just told me, because I didn't put two and two together, now it makes sense.
I mean, it could have circumstances changed. Maybe whatever I just mentioned didn't happen. Maybe the match still wasn't great, but I'll say that had a lot to do with it because she came out, from what I remember. I mean, like I said, this is the first show in Massachusetts I have been to since early 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So from what I remember about Jordan Grace, she had some like I hate using words. I feel like it's a typical like wrestling announcer word, but she has fire when she comes out
Yes.
of for her entrance. At Progress, she just kind of
It was
did her,
subdued.
she did her thing and she went to the ring. It's like she usually high fives people. She wasn't a heel. Like I know she wasn't a heel.
Yeah.
So that wasn't it. She just, I think she just wanted to get in there, wrestle, get paid, go home, and be with her family, which
is
100%
perfect.
acceptable.
Of course. I like them both as competitors. Solo Darling, and the reason I'm bringing this up is Chikara. I think she's too good for Chikara.
Mhm.
I think Chikara is a great. It's like here in I guess in Dallas Fort Worth area, they have something called my God, what the hell is it? Oh, MPX. Sorry, Metroplex Wrestling.
Oh no.
Yeah, Metroplex Wrestling, and that is very gimmicky.
Mhm.
It is very Chikara light, where it's a wrestling school and everybody gets to try out a gimmick, and they run every week.
Yeah.
And then they bring in a premier talent once in a blue moon. I don't know
Mhm.
if I would call Leva Bates a premier talent, but
I don't get. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
what, Leva Bates?
I don't get why she's so hyped. She had her 15 minutes of fame was at Takeover
NXT.
when
Mhm.
the Vaudevillains won the tag titles and she interfered. That
Yes.
was a huge pop. Never take that away from her. But it was just a surprise. I don't think the
Yeah.
pop was for Leva Bates. I think the pop was, oh shit, why is Blue Pants here? Why? Yay, she's here, but
And
why?
plus, it's Brooklyn, dude. Think about it. It's Brooklyn.
Oh, they're a bunch of fucking marks.
Careful, bro.
Yeah, nope, nope. I'm
Careful, bro.
stepping on your foot, man.
Careful, bro. Watch yourself, because
Nope.
just because I don't live there no more doesn't mean.
Oh, there's the Brooklyn accent. There it
Yeah,
is.
there you go. Yeah, there's New York accent coming for you. No,
But
I'm not a fan of.
Let's be real though.
What?
They are.
New York fans are douches. Let's be real here. Yes. New York wrestling fans, especially WWE New York wrestling fans. What do you got there?
I don't know. I don't know what it says.
All I see is Konnichiwa on Chip's cell phone. I can't see anything else, Chip. Read it off to me.
Konnichiwa, Hajime Masjid, Watashi wa Pro Wrestler Desu.
Gesundheit?
But you're blessed.
Thank you. I am blessed. Thank you very much. I found out my last name, Gracia, actually means grace. So that's derivative. So
my last name means strong boy.
I think that could be your Chikara gimmick. Strong boy.
It actually means strong man. I just had to say boy.
Oh my god, dude, that could be your Chikara gimmick. You could be the strong man.
I know you're going for irony here, but
Yes.
that's hurtful, man. That hurts.
No, like you can have like those like old school strongman weights, I'm bicep curling with like a big dumbbell, a circus dumbbell. Mel would know this better than me. One of those old school circus dumbbells, and you have like the Paul White like giant strap, the singlet.
Oh fucking Christ.
And then you're gonna do air pistol squats.
Body
and
hair included.
Yes, and then you'll do 500 squats, 500 sit-ups, and 1,000 push-ups every day.
So I finally given up on squats. Not doing them anymore. I'm doing hack squats now.
What do you mean? What's a hack squat? For those that don't know.
It's basically a reverse deadlift. It's behind the back. It's behind the back, so you crouch like you're doing a deadlift. And then you lift up from the back. It doesn't hurt your back as much. It's very effective.
Okay, I started doing squats with the Smith machine.
I did those too. I started doing those at kind of like a I don't know the correct word. I'm not super fitness savvy, but I started doing it kind of tilt. So like I'm like almost at like a 75-degree angle when I'm doing my
Yeah.
squats now because it's on a Smith machine. You can.
Yeah, and you know what? As we segue here on the Salty Chip Show, because that's
Again.
what we do, the salty segue. At the gym yesterday, training with Mel was different for me because I've never done that before. Most of my workouts are always the P90X variety, Insanity, all that home workout stuff with my adjustable dumbbells. So going back to the gym has been a transition to me because just using a barbell as opposed to a dumbbell has been quite the change.
See,
So
I think you're like me. I'm not a barbell person. I'm a
mhm.
dumbbell guy. Like I don't bench. I don't.
I benched for the first time with a barbell, and first time maybe in 15 years.
I mean, I bench with dumbbells. I do not use a barbell. I can't. It hurts my shoulder. I don't know why. I compensate with my shoulders too much when I am using a barbell. I don't know what it is.
For me, it's a balance thing, like keeping it steady. Because I know I was born with muscle imbalance, so for me to do
my right. So I'm a lefty. My right arm is much bigger than my left. It's weird. It's very weird.
My right arm is a lot bigger than my left, and that's, I guess, by design. But going back to why I'm talking the Smith machine, being able to squat my body weight on the Smith machine made me happy. Because I'm like, okay, good. I can squat close. I could squat 200 pounds on the Smith machine. That made me happy.
Actually, I might be able to do 200 on a Smith machine.
Yeah,
I might.
But I'm not ready for like the bar without the Smith.
Right.
I tried a front squat. Man, listen.
Forget about a front squat, man. No chance.
I just do it with a bar, and I'm like, why can I not go down? Why is this not happening? So yeah, anyone who trains, if you're a dumbbell man or woman, going in the gym will humble you. Using a barbell will humble you. I had never done a deadlift before. I started doing deadlifts with dumbbells a while ago, but I used a bar finally. Dude, just trying to get my body in proper alignment.
That's the biggest thing about using a barbell. You can't.
Right.
And you always pull out my back. You always got
to be in control. And right now I can tell you, and I know this might be TMI for our Salty Chips audience, my glutes are sore as F.
Is that why you're standing up?
No,
that's the real reason you're standing up. You got to get like a bar stool for this island, man, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do a podcast with you standing up this whole time. I feel rude sitting down.
You can stand up too if you want, Chip.
You won't be able to see me.
No, but it's one of those things. My
laptop doesn't go back that much.
Well, yeah, because I've already shoved mine to the forefront. But no, I like getting back in the swing of the gym. Like you've seen my post, and you know how much I like working out. Yeah. So. But it's just a very humbling.
I wear XL shirts. I'm in a medium now. I'm fucking psyched.
Yeah. Oh, here's another thing from Texas changeover, because that's what we do. We change over. The food portions, man. Can I talk to you really quick about how big these food portions are?
Don't bitch about it.
No, it's not bitching. It's holy fuck buckets. It is huge.
Good.
For like, I went to In-N-Out Burger for the first time a couple weeks ago.
I want In-N-Out. I want Whataburger.
Whataburger sucks. Whataburger sucks.
I can't fight you on that because I can't remember.
In-N-Out's better.
Like I said, I can't fight you because I can't remember, but
you will be proud of me. There's a lot of buffalo wing places.
Wing?
I have partaken in both, but
No. You've partaken in buffalo wings.
Yes.
The fucking bone.
Yes.
And you've partaken in chicken tenders.
Yes. And the bar I found nearby that is a New York Giants and Patriots sports bar. Weird combination.
What the fuck? Shut the place down. You can't be both.
It's both, dude.
No. Shut the place down. You can't be both. That's not a real thing. I'm
gonna do a video stream of it one of these days when I go there.
That's not a real thing. You can't. Shut it down. Goodbye.
Bro, it is. No. Buffalo Joe's. It has both Patriot stuff and Giant stuff.
You can't be both.
So I talked to the bartenders the other day, and I said, "How did
they remember 2007? You can't be both.
They've split the bar in half.
Heartbroken in the same time.
They have split the bar in half. The front section, where all the TVs are New York Giants country. Where the poker table, the pool place is Patriots country. They've put a line down the middle of it. It is like the Mason.
Like, is there
Dixon line.
actually a line? Like, this side is for Patriots fans,
No,
this
but-
side is for Giants fans.
Like unofficially, the bartenders were saying that's how they've broken it down.
No, you got to actually put a line down because I'm going in that bar. I got to be on the Patriots side. It's got to be clearly established it's the Patriots side. There's got to be the fucking shithead Giants fans on the other side. The Patriots fans got to all stick together. Fuck 2007. Fuck 2011. Fuck you, Plaxico Burress. Shoot yourself in the foot again, you idiots.
Leg, shot himself in the thigh.
Close enough.
Close enough. Almost shot his balls off, but that's beside the point.
He should have. Because
By the way, for those who don't know,
I said Plaxico Burress. I meant David Tyree.
Well, Plaxico Burress did shoot his.
I know he's the one that shot himself. That's why I went with it. But I meant
Yeah.
David Tyree. So fuck you too.
So for those who don't know, while Chip was going on this little.
Also, people from work listen to this. I should probably cut the swearing down because I work.
Yeah, for those who just tuned in, Chip on his tirade, I was giving him dancing middle fingers while he was saying F this and F that because I'm a Giants fan. So if Chip comes down to visit me here in Dallas, he will be sitting over there on his Patriot side as he's covering up the camera right now. And I will be sitting on New York Giants side. And it's nice to find a sports bar in Dallas that's a New York Giants specific bar. I cannot begin to tell you.
No. It's not New York Giants specific. It's a Patriots.
Look,
Patriots
man,
specific.
if you
There is a
follow me
Giants
on
section
social
because
media,
there are some
I
idiots
only
left in this
take
world.
pictures of the Giants side. There is no Patriot side in my world.
It is a Patriots specific bar, but there are idiots left in this world that need some validation for some reason. So there is a
Wait, they need what? Valo what now?
Kiss my ass.
Validation, Chip. Validation.
What did I say?
You said validation.
No, I said validation.
No, you stuttered it, and it
I
came
did
out
not.
as two different words.
I did not.
When you listen to it back, Chip, it came
I
out.
don't. I
as different
won't. I
words.
don't listen back to these shows. I can't listen to my voice.
Well, you have to edit it.
What am I editing out? We haven't fucked up yet.
You have, because you cussed a lot, so people at work going to hear you.
Oh, I don't care. They know me. Most of the
So-
people that listen to this work for me, so they can't do anything about it.
Oh wow, you're pulling rank on them.
Oh,
on
yeah.
the Salty Chip Show. You work for me. Don't ever fucking forget that.
I think I'm a good boss sometimes.
We should have one of your coworkers on this way. Can
We did before.
Michael?
Yeah, Mike works for me.
Oh, I thought he was just like random.
Nope, he
random
works for me.
dude. Oh,
Well,
nice.
at the time, I wasn't his boss, but now I'm his boss. So.
Oh, okay. I don't know if people know this. Also, I have been hired as a part-time radio disc jockey here in Dallas.
Very Latin of you.
I know, right? And people don't know this. In case you don't know, I'm Latin. I'm
Are
Latino.
you?
Apparently, I'm Latino. That's what people tell me. But I got hired by a station here called Radio Fan, Fun Asia. And yes, Fun Asia. What are you doing, Chip?
I have no idea.
What are you doing in your face?
I have
What's
no idea.
happening? So I will be on Tuesdays here in Dallas from 9 to 11 doing the world of music, Latin America.
Because yeah, you know Spanish. You must know Spanish. You look it.
I just look Spanish, and that's probably why I was hired, but don't tell them that. So yeah, guys, I'm actually going to be back on real radio, not just internet radio, but
Hey, this is real radio.
okay, but on FM AM channels, dude. I will with corporate sponsors and all that good stuff. Like I will go back to being a professional paid broadcaster. So that's cool. Okay, let me paint the picture for you guys at home. Right now, Chip is on the other camera, tying on his Nike Just Do It headband like he's Rambo. I don't know what war he's going to, but he looks like he's about to tell me nothing is over and then is going to slaughter like an army full of people with a bow and arrow. Is that what's happening right now, Chip?
Yeah, my dream is always to murder people with a bow and arrow. I mean, hunt,
Hunt, not
Hunt.
murder.
hunt.
Hunt.
That I might actually have to edit out.
Yeah.
I
Chip,
feel like we could
why do
actually
you
get shut
look
down for
like
that.
a tennis player right now?
So when my hair dries out inevitably, because my hair is very wet right now, I'm
Mhm.
the Roman Reigns of podcasting right now. My hair is wet, because you have to be wet for this.
Yeah, you do.
When it dries out, it's gonna eventually fall on my head. So I put a headband in so it doesn't fall on my face.
So let me ask you this question, Chip. When
I don't know if I want to answer it. I'm scared of what you're gonna ask me.
You should be scared of every question I ask you here. You said the Roman Reigns of podcasting.
That means I'm the big dog.
You're the big dog?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you wet your hair before you come on air?
In today's case, yes, I did.
Okay. Do you lather yourself with male body oil to come on air?
I don't think it looks like I do. Do I?
Are you cocking your fist like Roman Reigns right now?
I can't do that. Seriously. I feel like I'm 5 years old if I do that.
I've been accused of doing that, and
Like if you do this in your 20s, you are 5.
no, that means
You're
something
5.
different, dude. If you're doing this,
In public.
that means something different than Roman Reigns. I'm
Like
sorry.
I'm in my home and I feel embarrassed for myself.
For non-wrestling fans, whoever cocks their fist like that, and I said cocks on purpose, that's used for something else in other realms.
Oh, where's my cock?
Your giant cock?
Yeah, where's my giant cock? Can't find it.
So for those listening, Chip can't find his cock.
Well, I have 2 of them.
Chip can't find his cock. He said it on air. He can't find his.
I found my cock.
He found it, and it doesn't look that giant, unfortunately.
Willie's. Does it say giant?
It says cock on it.
And it's stiff.
It's the world's stiffest drink, not cock. Stiffest drink. We should have them. We should have them sponsor our show.
I can't even remember what restaurant that was.
Was that from Mania?
It was yeah, it's from Bourbon Street. It's not from Bourbon Street. It's from the chicken place outside of our hotel. They had awesome fried chicken. Also, I'm going Undertaker look here. That's what the bandana's for.
The American Badass Undertaker?
Yep, except she didn't wear Nike.
Well, the funny thing is, I think my second or third night here in Dallas, we went to this place called Texas Roadhouse. I shit you not.
Do you think that's not a common place? There's literally a Texas Roadhouse 3 minutes away from me right now.
Well, I don't know these things. New York does not have a Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yes, they do.
Not where I lived.
Oh, yes, they do. Hey, Siri. My phone just froze.
No. I remember there was a Roadhouse in Midtown Manhattan, but that closed down with peanut shells on the floor and all that crap. That closed down.
That's
but when I lived in Queens, New York, they did not have a Texas Roadhouse. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because there was a dude dressed like Biker Taker the minute I walked in. I laughed my ass off incessantly. He looked straight up like Biker Taker.
I think headbands are a good look for me.
Did you just see yourself finally?
Yeah. I just popped up my own screen. I think
Nice.
headbands are a good look for me.
I don't know. I got to get used to it. That could be your thing. Like my thing is the hats. I guess yours could be the headbands. Did you? Oh my God. He just Pantene hair flipped and then metal flipped his hair. Like, I don't understand what that was, but okay. Chip, are we ever going to go back to watching wrestling consistently?
Oh, all right. So when I come home from work at night, if I have time, I do throw on the WWE Network. I'm not going to spin it that I don't like wrestling anymore. I do. I always will. Am I going to go back to watching the current product? Yeah, someday. Not anytime soon. Nothing is investing to me. What do I want to invest in? I feel like we're still trying to do what we needed to do 4 years ago in 2018. This was something that needed to be done in 2014. And I'm talking Roman Reigns. I'm not a Roman Reigns hater. He's good, but I'm sick of waiting. Just do it, get it over with. Let's move on to the next.
Do what?
Everybody's ceiling, their prime is about 4 to 5 years. The Rock, Stone Cold, Kurt Angle, for all intents and purposes.
True. That's a good one. Kurt Angle, yes.
Jeff Hardy, Triple H is the rare exception to the rule because he was big 99 2004. He took a weird break in 2005, and then from 2006 to 2009, Triple H was still very much in the picture. So Triple H is that exception to the rule, as well as John Cena. But even John Cena, 2005, he won his first championship.
Yeah,
that's 7 years for Cena. So even still, that's between 4 to 6 years. Austin, he was big from 96 into 2000. What's
2001, roughly.
And then he was big again in 2003 because he came back as, his final match and then as Raw Sheriff. Different worlds. But yeah, everybody's plateau is 4 to 5 years. We're going into year 4 Roman Reigns right now. You got 2 more years, pretty much. And then it's time for the next person.
And here's the thing. I used to be a Braun Strowman guy. I'm not. I'm losing interest in Braun
Well,
Strowman.
not watching the current product, I can't relate. I am a Braun Strowman guy. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't even know what his SummerSlam match is. And yes, I am going to watch
Kevin Owens.
SummerSlam. I will watch SummerSlam because
He's wrestling
that's
Kevin Owens.
it. Okay, that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
No, I I love Kevin Owens, but at the same time, I'm more invested in how KO is going to bump around for Braun more so than Braun even cashing in Money in the Bank, like or Money in the
Oh,
Braun.
that's right. He has the Money in the Bank, huh?
Yeah, Monster in the Bank, as he's apparently being dubbed.
See, that's the thing I've always hated about wrestling in all forms. Your nickname is one thing. Your accolade should not be mixed with your nickname.
Oh, you're right. You're completely right.
Monster in the Bank. Who else was famous for this?
What, with a gimmick like kind of was bigger than them?
Right.
Hmm.
Well, Big Show.
Yeah, because he's
Also,
big.
how badass of a name was the Big Show Paul White? I loved that name. And
I
then
thought
they
that was stupid.
Oh, I love that name.
I thought it was dumb. Like, really? It's Paul White. I remember when he debuted. Oh, what's Paul White doing? That's another thing I hate. What's so and so doing here?
That was never his name. Like if you were that same call, it should have been, "What's the Giant doing here?" Because nobody ever knew who Paul White is. Why all of a sudden is he Paul White?
Because you couldn't say the Giant because that was owned by WCW.
Was it?
Yeah, at the time, yes.
How can you own the Giant?
The term, the performer,
How can you
the
own
Giant?
Right, but I'm sure I'm positive there's a way it could have been spun.
Or probably
because that
they
is a
just
common phrase.
Or maybe they just didn't want to disrespect Andre the Giant by calling him the Giant.
That's fair. Well, they always said he's a giant.
Yes. But the Big Show, yeah, he was the world's strongest. Met Mark Henry. I feel like every gimmick is going to be because they're big.
Yeah.
You know, Mark Henry,
the great Khali.
Well, The Rock was the great one.
He is.
The
Rock is probably one of the greatest humans on the planet, by the way. Just throwing it out there.
I don't know him personally, so I can't even attest to that.
I don't know him personally either, but from what I see on his social media, if everything that he says that he's doing is true, he probably is. Him and Mick Foley.
I would believe that they're both legitimately good dudes that care about their fellow man and woman. I would hope for most of society that that's the case, but I know that's not the case. Here, and while we're on the subject really quick, you took a social media sabbatical for a while and you're rarely on.
Yeah.
I'm on as a need notice. You know, if we're going to advertise the show, and I've gotten in conversations about social media, people who portray themselves one way on social media does not openly reflect who they really are. You know, because a lot of celebrities, they don't even operate their own Twitter pages or their Instagram pages. It's like
we going in James Gunn right now.
Oh, I wasn't going to, but sure, be my guest.
I'm 100% with the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, I get it. It was fucking shitty what he said. No way around it. No doubt about it.
Yep.
But damn, that guy has apologized even before he was called out for it. That guy has apologized. That guy has done so much. I get it. Disney is a huge corporation. They have to do what they have to do.
Yes.
But man, he apologized before he was even called out. Most times, these celebrities who get caught doing those shitty things apologize after they're caught. This guy apologized before he was even called out for it, before he was even hired on Guardians of the Galaxy or very fresh into it. But again, he wasn't called out. He apologized on his own because he knew he was a shit person for it. Right. Now they circulated again. He had to apologize again and lose his job. No, Guardians of the Galaxy is not going to be Guardians of the Galaxy without him.
That is definitely like a him spin too. So yeah, yep. I agree with that.
I stand with Batista too. Like if he wants to drop out and deal with whatever penalties he's going to have to, do it. I know Chris Pratt won't. Like that's big money on the table for them. But if Batista drops out, shit, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Look, I was going to make a stick to your guns reference, but everybody has things they'll dig their heels in on. And if this is one of those moments where, you know, the phrase hill to die on, if this is Batista's movie hill to die on for his career, go ahead, dude. If that's what you feel.
Batista, you know, I think Batista, if he drops out, he's kind of throwing.
He's losing a lot, dude, by doing that.
He's
Let's be
losing a
real here.
lot. He might be throwing his acting career away.
Right.
But the deal is, Batista probably has enough to live, and there's a whole nother industry that he's involved in that he can hop right into. He's got
He
a
has
home in WWE.
options.
He has a home in WWE. He can
Right.
go back and wrestle for a couple more years, bank it, and then just say, "All right, I'm good. I'm 50. I'm good." I'm all
Unless you're
set.
PCO and then you're wrestling when you're like 65.
How old is PCO?
I think he's in his 50s. He should be in his 50s.
Yeah.
So you can wrestle in your 50s, but the reason
You can wrestle when you're 63. Ric Flair.
oh my god. Okay, I know I've done this on other shows, but I think this is the first time I brought this up on Salty Chips. And again, saltychips.simplecast.fm, Damien Salty G, Chip Kayfabe. Find the show.
Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Sklork Norval,
Sklork
Willie's
Norval?
Big Cock. I don't know.
What the hell is a Sklork Norval?
Sklork Norval. Have you ever listened to the New Age Insiders?
I've been kind of busy lately. I don't listen to much.
I haven't listened to them much either, and they yelled at me about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they understand why I haven't. So
Oh, they know why I haven't.
okay. But the reason why I'm talking about this is there are so many times where on other shows I brought up when is too old for people to be wrestling. Like Terry Funk kind of
When
walked
you
out
retire
hard.
7 times and come back 7 times, that's
It's
too
annoying.
much.
It's too much. Now, I'm not one to tell people how to live their lives and live their dreams here, but I was talking to someone about the potential of maybe Tito Santana like wrestling again. Isn't he like 70?
Hey Siri, how old is Tito Santana?
Tito Santana is 65.
He's 65. Oh, did I lose you, Damien?
Where it's
Uh-oh.
like,
Nope, I didn't lose you.
no, I just did my typical talk while you're like frozen.
Oh, he's 65.
Okay, there you go. Tito Santana, 65 years old. If he's still wrestling, more power to him. But do you need to do that? So that's why I think a line is
one
long
exception to this rule: Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
because he looks amazing.
I want to see him. Remember 2009, his matches against Chris Jericho?
Yep.
All right, so here's what I've been doing with wrestling. Been watching the network. They put out a Collections of Jericho collection the other day. Been
Okay.
watching that. I watched the ladder match between him and HBK. Unreal. You know what I also watched the other night? And you might saw it on my Snapchat. No, I don't know if I snapped it. Jeff Hardy versus Edge versus Triple H at Armageddon in 2009. 8, 9, 8,
Might have been 9.
9, maybe. Yeah, that was a very good match too.
Okay.
Just
Just had to throw it in there.
yeah.
Well, we had to keep the show somewhat wrestling. Sorry, New Age Insiders.
We did talk a lot of wrestling.
You know, we again as
We
we
talked a
get
lot.
as we get back to our normal recording patterns, we will start to incorporate a lot more what we do, as well as segueing and being insane. Because
I
that's,
think what we're gonna have to do going forward, because neither one of us are watching the product, right? Are you watching current day?
like I said, I chime in with 205, and every so often, if Mel's got in the background, you know, then I'm watching it. But other than that, no.
Okay. I'm not at all. If I'm home on Monday nights, I'm very openly home on Monday nights by 9:30 p.m. So I could watch the last hour and a half of Raw. I choose not to. I will go to the WWE Network and watch stuff. So I'm wondering if maybe what we should do is start reviewing old time stuff.
Doesn't Doc in DC do that?
Checking the Boots did it first.
Okay. Well, they do WCW.
Yes, so we could do
I don't
any
mind
old
that.
time stuff. Like we could literally pick like a match. Like we could talk about a match for 45 minutes when we're on here.
You know what you can do. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We could do some old school stuff.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, it
Cool.
gives us something to talk about. That gives us our talking point every week, and then whatever else we talk about because we talk.
Well,
about
and here's
everything.
another thing we could also do. You know how people complain once certain wrestlers get to WWE, they lose who they are or who they were on the indie circuit?
Yep.
I've always liked looking at people before they were stars.
Yeah.
So I've done it with Shinsuke. I've done
Like it
it-
would be fun to do it with Jericho, like the Thrill Seekers to Lionheart Jericho to 1004 holds Jericho armbar.
I love 1,000. I love 1,004 hold Jericho. I do. I love that.
Yep.
That was the first list of
Armbar.
Jericho.
Yep.
Armbar, armbar.
That was the beginning of Jericho. Jericho is also the exception to that rule that we were talking about like 10 minutes ago that I'm segueing back to, being relevant for 4 to 5 years on top.
Well,
yeah,
because that requires reinvention.
Right. I mean, he was on top for 2 to 3 years, but he's always been in the picture.
Right.
Since 1999.
Well, this is what we were talking about, longevity and sticking around too long. Like,
my ass is asleep.
Me being the polished radio guy, that's not supposed to faze me, but just hearing Chip say that his ass is asleep made me laugh. With Jericho, a lot of his is reinvention and not allowing himself to get stale. But I will say this, and I told this to you once or twice before. Jericho's wrestling attire may need to change a little bit.
Yeah, it's time to go back to the long tights.
The short tights and the dad bod.
I can appreciate the dad bod, but
no, but with the trunks, no.
He's had to go back to the tights. He's had to go back to the long tights.
Yeah. Speaking
also,
of
that
Jericho,
was his best look. That was his best look, anyways.
What, the long tights?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because that was when he had like the Pantene hair and things like that.
How cool would the light up jacket look with long light up pants?
You know what? That might work.
Am I wrong?
That I'm thinking about it right now, and I'm smiling because that might actually effing work.
Just imagine the Jericho pose, the legs out with light up too. Come on, that would absolutely work.
Speaking of Jericho, before we go, the Jericho Cruise. In theory, I still think this is a good idea. In theory, for future promotions to do this, or let's say Janela does something. I see Janela doing it like on a garbage barge, just to be an asshole. But
I see him doing it on a dumpster, on a dump field.
Yeah, but the Jericho Cruise on paper looks great.
Yes.
Now, the fan perspective.
Can I throw the one honest to God reason why I will not go on that cruise?
It's too much money?
Nope.
What is it?
Money's fine. It's actually very cheap if you look at prices. I could not be surrounded by wrestling fans for 4 days.
Thank you.
That's the one reason I won't.
That's the reason I was going to complain from a fan perspective. Look, dude.
I want to see the shows.
I've done 4 shows in 4 days. I've done that, but those were different venues.
And also, if I went on the cruise, I would buy a deodorant stick for every wrestling fan on that cruise.
I just had this conversation last night. Oh, this morning actually, about wrestling fans and body odor. And
do any wrestlers listen to the show?
I don't know.
If you do, at your merch table,
Have
please
deodorant.
sell deodorant at your merch table. You would make so much money.
This is a great idea. The carnies are probably good at this. They would probably sell their own deodorant. Somebody should start selling deodorant because let's be real here. In my own personal wrestling hell, there is person who still thinks it's real.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Sandwiched in with guy who hasn't left the basement or showered. Because let's be honest, it's
like,
rare that it's rare that it's a woman who smells bad at a wrestling show.
I got a story for you.
It is rare for me because the women I've been around at wrestling shows all smell divine. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Chip.
Oh, that's an off-air story.
Okay. So my own personal wrestling hell, and I could talk about this because at House of Glory, once I had this. I had guy who thought it was real, and he was smelly dude next to me.
That's the worst combo of people.
Yep. He was both. And that's part of the reason why sometimes I don't like to go to wrestling shows by myself, because at the very least, I got someone who I know isn't going to reek.
Yeah.
Because
I try to surround myself with there are real to me, smelly, and then there are like normal people like the New Age and Tires community. I consider us normal people that happen to like wrestling.
Yeah, we happen to be good folk who like wrestling. So, and I've been around you guys enough to say that, yes, we don't got to worry about the BO issue, the look at me, damn it, guy or girl, at a show. You know what I mean? We ain't the show.
I fucking hate those people. I hate them.
I have been accused recently of being not look at me guy, but where's the hard cam guy? And number one, this is directed to number one. I promised them I would do this. They think every time I go to a show, I'm over here looking for the hard cam. Now, I will admit, when I was doing Last Mark Standing to get the show out there more, I would have my Last Mark hat on and my Damien Schulte G gear
Can we
to
get
be
hats?
on camera. No, let's not talk about merch right now, dude. Let me just finish the story. I remember distinctly, I went to a fest show and I asked just arbitrarily, I wonder where the hard cam is. And number one tells me, really? You want to look for the hard cam? I'll be over there in the back while you look for the hard cam. And ever since then, she says I'm extra at shows. She says I get a little too New York at shows. I don't even know what that means, but I have.
I've sat with you at one wrestling show. You're just vocal.
Yes, I'm a very vocal fan.
That's it.
Hmm?
That's it, though.
Yeah, I know, but some people are more respectful. I don't know.
I'm not vocal at all.
If I like what I'm seeing, I'm very vocal. Or if I see a spot, if I see a spot, then I'm just like, oh, like that's cool.
Oh,
You know
I'll do
what I
that.
mean?
I'll do that. But I won't go. Ah! Like I
Yeah,
won't do
don't
that.
spaz.
I hate
don't
that shit.
spaz. I don't spaz. Number
Like,
one,
people- like that's what I hate about some people. Like even in like real life on the basketball court at work, you see these kids. He'll cross somebody up, and then you see all these people like pretending to faint. They're holding their friends back
Yeah.
because it's
hold
like
me back, son. Hold me back, son.
right. It's like he
Hold me back,
just
son.
he just hit a layup. Like yeah, he got by him and hit a layup. Yeah, that was cool. Yay. Why are we holding each other back? Why are we freaking out? Relax.
I think too many people have Bang energy drinks in their system, or Starbucks, or whatever caffeinated products
Are
they
Bang
got
drinks
going.
good?
I love them.
Okay. What's your favorite flavor?
Whatever the blue one is.
Oh,
What,
do they have a cherry one?
What was that?
Do they have cherry?
I wouldn't be surprised. They got pina colada. I'm sure they'll have. They should have a cherry one.
I might have to try Bang.
Yeah, it gets me through my workouts. Thankfully,
Is it
the
a
24 hour.
pre-workout?
Say what?
Is it a pre-workout?
Yeah, but it also has BCAAs in it.
Okay.
So it's a dual purpose.
Good to know.
But I think it's Star Blast or something like that. That's the one I have. But they also have iced tea. Like it tastes like Snapple iced tea.
Really? I love
really good.
Snapple lemon iced tea.
It's really good. So if you want to get that, I'd say get that for your workouts, Chip.
Okay.
But I think that's a good way for us to segue out of here. I think that's a good one. You're listening to the Salty Chip Show. Chip, where can we be found besides saltychips.simplecast.fm?
Shit, you're throwing me under the bus. Spotify, Google Play,
Stitcher.
iTunes, Stitcher, Glork Normal, Willie's Stiffest Cocktail Place.
SoundCloud, and what's the other one? Apparently, I've been accused of having too much.
That's a you problem.
Yeah, it's a me problem. And on YouTube, but this is a private stream, so we're not streaming on YouTube today. But that's where you can find us. Find Chip, because he's never on social media, at Chip Kayfabe. The show at Salty Chip Show. Myself at Damien G.
Do we even have the password for that account anymore?
Jason Loves Goldberg.
Did you really just get the password out?
They don't know what the email login is. I don't even know what the email login is.
I don't either.
So we're gonna have to redo that one just in case.
We're gonna change the password today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Anything else, Chip?
No.
All right, folks. We'll go see you next time. Later.